Thunberg rightly says we can treat a crisis like a crisis, as we have seen because of coronavirus. Treating the climate crisis like a crisis, that could change everything overnight. Citizens' assemblies, hashtag burning pink. Yeah. What have I been saying this whole time? The extent of coronavirus, the coronavirus season, if you will. I have been saying this the entire time. If we treated climate change like coronavirus, imagine what we could do very quickly. We could do, I mean, look what we did. We lowered emissions 17% just by treating coronavirus like coronavirus. And that was just a happenstance. You know, that was just fallout from, you know, taking coronavirus seriously. Oh my gosh, we happen to take climate change seriously at the same time. Whoa. Imagine that. So we were given a blueprint. The question is whether anybody wants to do anything with that blueprint. Kuro sent me an interesting video of, I guess this guy is a climate scientist. Bill McGuire wrote a book called Skyseed about the future as pertains to geoengineering. So if we were, when climate change starts to really kind of take us over the cliff, you know, he imagines a world, or imagines a scenario in which governments are, you know, kind of forced to use their last line of defense as in geoengineering or tech fixes, and the inevitable consequences from that being not so good. So here's what the book looks like. If y'all want to maybe pick this up and read it. It looks interesting. I may actually pick it up myself. Skyseed by Bill McGuire. Moving on to just October on record. If you're wondering if climate change is all a hoax, or it's just not that bad, or it's just not as bad as they say, you know, the Biden's administrations is going to come in and take care of climate change. So we're all saved, right? You know, Trump is out, Biden's in, we're all saved. No, well, this is where we're at in 2020 as far as Siberian sea ice. And if you want to, you know, let's do the trend line. Let's do the game of the trend line. Here is the low point trend line, and that puts us at no sea ice when? You know, you got maybe a couple of years left. Maybe we got another 5. And you know, I think the median, the mean trend line is somewhere in here, which puts us out maybe to 2030. Ideas about the Arctic. Why do we seem to have 2 different narratives about the Arctic? Academic climate science and old physics climate science. You remember heat and ice don't mix. Why does it seem like we need to clean out academia, since it seems to have a certain aroma? That's what, tweeted by Larry79115. Forecast for the next week, I guess, and check Antarctica. Wow, plain hilarious. Let's allow Zeke, Glenn, Michael, Christoph, Val, and others to tell us everything is fine, everything will be fine. Looking at plus 20 C, over average, in the Arctic. And that is in November. Look at Antarctica. This year, it's not some angles of Earth rotation, meaning just the Arctic. It's like maybe the whole Earth tweeting up. This is a reply to this tweet. But look at that, temperature anomaly is into the 20s. 20 C temperature anomaly. And also mirrored by the Arctic. Oh my God. Sumatran rhinos, like the land that it inhabits, is unlike anything else in this world. Small in stature and docile by nature, the animal sports a coat of black fur and sings songs like a dolphin. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but just going into it a little bit. Sumatran rhinos are one of the most endangered large mammals on the planet, with no more than 80 left in the wild. shed light on the animal's precarious situation. This episode of the Manga Bay, well, there's a podcast by Manga Bay Explorers podcast, speaks with conservation biologist Wulan Pusparini and Manga Bay senior correspondent Jeremy Hance about the unique challenges of conserving the creatures. Well, so we're down to maybe 80, and it says possibly as few as 30 still in the wild.